Hey guys, I'm just making a video because more and more information is coming out because they are proving geoengineering. So more and more stuff is coming out. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm looking at some of the news coming out and I'm going to be pointing out where they're lying to you. And it's pretty obvious that they're lying and they continue to do it. So it's really pathetic. This is a piece on the BBC, UK experiments to reflect sunlight one step closer. Controversial experiments exploring the science around reflecting sunlight with an aim to bring about global cooling have been announced. The Advanced Research and Innovation Agency, ARIA, a government-backed body, is funding nearly 60 million that could allow real-world experiments, including in the UK. First of all, when we talk about real-world experiments, they are already happening. Let's look at this picture that the BBC has decided to put with this piece. And also they've got the upcoming weather. Look at these pictures. Let's have a look at these skies. That's what the BBC are claiming that our skies look like. On a day when they're not spraying, that is what the day looks like. But just want to tell the BBC and the person that made this piece, this is what our skies usually look like. So that's just a typical day. And that is what the sky looks like. Exactly like that. And there's many, many, many people filming it. And it looks exactly like that. So to the BBC, saying about real world experiments, they're happening, we can see them with our own eyes. So they're going on about could allow real world experiments, including in the UK. As part of the Exploring Climate Cooling Programme projects in solar radiation modification, let's check this one out as well. So this has always been called solar radiation management. They've now changed it to solar radiation modification. So that's changed, and they will involve trying to thicken Arctic sea ice and make clouds more reflective. But critics have real concerns about the impact of SRM on weather patterns and our health, seeing as it is a distraction to drastically decarbonisation. They've missed a word out there. To drastically reduce. It should have said, shouldn't it? Right, so global average temperatures. This is all crap, so I'm not even going to bother to read it because they're trying to say this is why they're doing it. How geoengineering could cool the atmosphere. I've shown you this picture many times. I showed you it in 2010 when they were doing it then and claiming not to, but now they're just about to approve something that they had no idea about and they were never doing. Engineering alternatives. Geoengineering is the process of artificially modifying the atmosphere and climate. SRM techniques which try to mimic the natural cooling that occurs after the eruption of volcanoes releasing ash and gases are some of the most controversial. ARIA Programme Director Mark Sims said that there is a critical missing gap in our knowledge on the feasibility and impacts of solar radiation management, and to fill the gap requires real-world outdoor experiments. Well, you'd know all about that because you're doing it. These are the real-world outdoor experiments. That's what you can see right there. This is, you're looking at exactly what they describe it does and how it's done. So let's check that. So here we can see exactly what I'm going to be reading to you shortly that describes what geoengineering is. So let's go back to that piece. Techniques which try to mimic the natural cooling that occurs after an eruption of volcanoes releasing ash and gases are some of the most controversial. Doesn't that look like gases to you and an ashy sky? And that's being done by planes. That's not volcanic ash. That is crap in the sky. There is critical missing gap in our knowledge of the feasibility and the impacts of SRM, and to fill the gap requires real-world outdoor experiments. Sorry guys, this video is going to be long and it does take me a while to do these videos, and I'm filming it differently today because I'm not on my phone because it makes it hard for me to read. So if you've got this far so far, give me a thumbs up and I'll continue reading it here. So the agency announced on Wednesday it will fund 5 projects that could lead to real-world experiments. Could lead to real-world experiments. I don't have to say anything there. So these include research into thickening Arctic ice, marine cloud brightening, and stratospheric aerosol injection, SAI, which is what we can see here in this video. That's exactly what they're doing here. Stratospheric aerosol injection. They are injecting aerosols into the sky. Right there, you can see it yourself. That's not a contrail, that's not water vapour. And that doesn't evaporate. That's sun dimming right there in progress over the UK, although they say they're not doing any real world experiments. What are we looking at here then? This is no longer a conspiracy. If you think this is a conspiracy, you look really stupid. Right, so outdoor experiments on sea ice thickening could take place as soon as this winter. They will also fund modelling-based project that would investigate mirrors or shades deployed into space. This is something else that I have researched before and spoken about and showed pictures of actually. So they're probably doing that as well. They're saying they're going to fund it and investigate, but it means they're doing it. One proposed MCB experiment is to spray a fine mist of natural seawater into the atmosphere from a coastal location in the UK. So they're probably doing something like that as well, seawater to brighten the clouds, maybe something like that out in the sea. The hope is that it would brighten existing cloud and increase its reflectivity. Another funded stratospheric aerosol injection project could involve sending a small amount of natural mineral dust contained within a weather balloon high into the atmosphere to see how it responds in the environment. No dust would be released. Are they having an absolute laugh? Right, so now that they're about to approve this, guys, they are trying to say to us that the stuff that they've been releasing isn't toxic, the stuff that they've been releasing isn't a problem to our health and to nature, right? So they're trying to reel it in and trying to tell you, the observer, that what you're seeing isn't going to affect your health in any way at all. So let's go back to the video I made about the MIT research. Let me take you back to this one here. Which one was it? It's called Saturn Skies. You can find this video on my channel. Okay, this is talking about the research that's being done regarding these balloons. So check this piece out. Last September, researchers in the UK launched a high altitude weather balloon that released a few hundred, it was a lot more than that, 100 grams of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere. A potential scientific first in solar engineering field, you absolute lying bastards. Right, so let's check. What is sulfur dioxide? Thanks to my subscriber Neil here, I've actually pinned this comment. You'll see it if you go to the video. And it says, from Google, sulfur dioxide, SO2, is a dangerous gas that can cause health problems through inhalation, skin contact, and eye contact. Inhalation can lead to respiratory irritation, cough, and difficulty breathing, especially in individuals with asthma. Skin contact can cause pain, redness, and blisters, and eye contact can cause watering, pain, and in severe cases, blindness. I think that's worth reading again because we know a lot of people that are ill and keep getting ill, and we know the respiratory issues. Go back to my video I made. It's called BBC Admit to Chemtrailing. I have got freedom of information in that video where I was checking from month to month as I was watching the spraying progress. I was checking how many people were going to casualty with respiratory issues. And they were giving me all of that information for quite a while until they were onto me. If you want to see those figures and that information I got from back then, I will link the video below, so do take your time to watch that. I'm going to read this again, so thank you again, Neil. This is from Google. Sulfur dioxide is a dangerous gas that can cause health problems through inhalation, skin contact and eye contact. Inhalation can lead to respiratory irritation, cough and difficulty breathing, especially in individuals with asthma. Skin contact can cause pain, redness and blisters, and eye contact can cause watering, pain and in severe cases blindness. I'm going to add to this because I know quite a few people and also someone quite close to me. This is causing heart palpitations with people as well. So if you know anyone that's getting heart palpitations and any of these issues that you hear here, this could well be the cause of those ongoing issues, right? So let's go back to the BBC piece. Another funded SIA project could involve sending a small amount of natural mineral dust contained within a weather balloon high into the atmosphere to see how it responds in the environment. No dust would be released. So what kind of experiment is that? A, you're lying about the natural mineral dust that you're using because it's not. And B, you're saying that no dust will be released. Well, then therefore there's no experiment. How does that work? AREA stressed that before any outdoor experiment takes place, there will be full and transparent public consultation with necessary environmental assessments taking place. Did you hear that right? First of all, where is this full and transparent public consultation? Where have these necessary environmental assessments been taking place? Because if you're really doing real life experiments now in the UK, real world experiments, you've already got this data. You've already got this data. You can already see the impact it's having on humans because we can. We can find information. We can look around. We can use our eyes. We know people around us. So you already have this information. You bloody well know the environmental assessment. You've done it. And it's the health of people. It does impact people. And also shutting out the sun for however many days it is and hours that we have to miss the sun, it affects people in the UK because we're not getting vitamin D. Right, so trying to keep it calm. Just trying to keep it calm because I do really get heated making these videos and I don't want them to start to affect me on any level at all. I must keep calm because you know, guys know how heated I can get. All right, hang on a minute. Before any outdoor experiment takes place, there will be full and transparent public consultation with necessary environmental assessments taking place. Well, I'd like to ask the UK government, who's just about to spend 60 million on this geoengineering, and they've already been spending money on it anyway. When is this transparent public consultation going to take place with the public? And also, what are these environmental assessments that you're going to have to take and that you have been taking? And also, big ups to DEFRA. Big ups to DEFRA, who I wrote to many, many years ago asking for information about this, and you claim to not know anything about it. Big ups to the MP that I spoke to and wrote to as well, and you claim to not know anything about this whilst you were discussing it in Parliament. You are such liars, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Any outdoor experimentation will only occur after robust oversight measures which won't include the release of any toxic materials. Last September, researchers in the UK launched a high-altitude weather balloon that released a few hundred grams of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, and it was a lot more than that, and they do it today. They're doing it. It's a lot more than that, and it's a potential first in the UK in the geoengineering field. Bollocks. So what's sulfur dioxide? I know I've read this before, but sulfur dioxide is a dangerous gas that could cause health problems through inhalation, skin contact and eye contact. Inhalation can lead to respiratory irritation, cough and difficulty breathing, especially in individuals with asthma. Skin contact can cause redness and blisters, and eye contact can cause watering, pain and in severe cases blindness. Will only occur after robust oversight measures. What does that mean? Which won't include the release of any toxic materials. Sorry, I don't believe you. But Raymond Pear, Professor of Planetary Physics at Oxford University, is extremely worried about SRM. People want a plan B if we don't reduce global emissions, but there really is no plan B. It just kicks the can down the road because solar geoengineering doesn't take away the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So is it about carbon dioxide, sun? What is this about? This thing that they don't do, but they tell you they're going to do, and they're going to approve something that's been done, but they don't do it, and they deny it, and they tell you that you're crazy. What are the concerns? Studies have shown that SRM could cause strong warming high above the tropics, changing large-scale weather patterns, warming the polar regions, and altering rainfall patterns around the world. Which is what we're seeing. So their claim to be doing this is to combat global warming. But when you look around, it's a different thing. It's like, it's cooling. They are cooling stuff, but also stuff is happening because of what they're doing. So they are already affecting the weather patterns. Rainfall patterns are being altered around the world as well. That's already happening. So let me continue. For example, it's been shown that brightening cloud off the coast of Namibia in southwest Africa could induce drought over South America, affecting the Amazon rainforest, often referred to as the lungs of the planet. Now, if you've been following my work and you understand why this really does touch me deeply, because it does affect a lot of people, and it's not for them to decide all of this stuff. I've talked about before how they can affect the weather to a certain point where they can cause drought in a certain area, and they can then cause excess rain in another area to cause flooding. And this has happened in the past, and it's happened not so long ago, and this is something that does happen. So these people that are doing it are basically acting like gods. They're saying where the rain is going to fall, where the sun is going to shine, where human life will really be crap, and where human life will thrive. And as I look around, and it's horrible to say, my research, I find that the places that are not allowed to thrive, and it's because of things they're doing with this geoengineering, it's usually of the brown and black colour of a human, which is really sad, but it's true, okay? While global average temperatures may be reduced, the weather or climate in certain regions of the world may get worse. For stratospheric aerosol injection techniques, check this, guys. New aircraft would be needed capable of flying at an altitude of 12 miles, spreading sunlight reflecting aerosols such as sulfur. Right, so didn't they just say to us that they were not going to be using any toxic substances in these real-world experiments? Yet here they are telling us, not only are they now telling us that they will be using something toxic, but also that they're using aircraft, which is what we've all been saying and seeing and talking about. For stratospheric aerosol techniques, new aircraft would be needed, capable of flying at an altitude of 12 miles, spreading sunlight reflecting aerosols such as sulfur. So they're lying here. They're talking about needing new aircraft that's capable of flying and spreading out and spraying out, reflecting aerosols. But I'm sorry, then what are these planes doing? How are these planes that we're seeing today and what you see in this video, how are they able to spray out aerosols? What's happening here? What are we looking at here in this video then that I filmed a couple of days ago? You can see the lines, you can see the spray, you can see where the plane stopped and started. It's like it's spraying. It's so blatant. For those of you that couldn't see it and didn't understand, look at it now. You can see how blatantly obvious it is, and it's not just now that they're about to approve it. This has been going on since 2010. I've been filming this crap. So you explain to me, if there are planes now that, if they need to now create planes that can do this, then what planes are doing this? What planes are doing this now? So that just shows and proves more lies from these people. Back to the piece. So new aircraft will be needed capable of flying, spreading sunlight reflecting aerosols that we've just seen in my video, such as sulfur. However, in a study published in Earth's Future, scientists at University College London show that stratospheric aerosol injection could be achieved using existing aircraft injecting aerosols at an altitude of 8 miles high instead. Oh, okay. So existing aeroplanes can do this at lower 8 miles, which this plane is low and it's spraying. And look, it's capable of doing exactly what they're talking about and saying they want to do. That's what we're looking at here. Isn't that miraculous? Isn't that just wow? Wow. Okay, so there are planes then. They've discovered this. Like, where am I? However, in a study published in Earth's Future, show that stratospheric aerosol injection could be achieved using existing aircraft injecting aerosols at an altitude of 8 miles high instead. Guys, if you've come this far, this video is going to be long because of pieces. If you've come this far with me, give me a thumbs up, please. So it's saying here to inject at this lower altitude 3 times more aerosol would be needed to be as effective, and it would strongly increase side effects such as acid rain. So it's going to be, the lower altitude planes are going to need 3 times more aerosol to make it effective because they're going to be lower down. So yeah. That looks right to me. So look out for your acid rain. Public perception of such techniques is also going to be a challenge. Right, so they're talking about all of this. They're telling you what they want to do. They're telling you that it's not being done. They're telling you it's just about to be approved. They're explaining exactly what I've just showed you happens in the real world already. And I've shown you, we've called it chemtrails, we've called it sun dimming, we've called it SRM, we've called it geoengineering, we've called it all of its complete names that they use. So we have been using the correct terminology when it comes to discussing these issues. Okay, so listen to this. Public perception of such techniques is also going to be a challenge. They really can't write. So also going to be a challenge, primarily due to the widely known conspiracy theory of chemtrails. So what you're looking at here in my video is only supposed to be a theory. Please just stop imagining what you can see. I want you to take away all the geoengineering you can see in the background, all the lines that are made with all the planes that they've used. It looks like there's frequencies going through it, maybe harps on. I don't know if they use that, but something weird's going on. Just ignore, please ignore all of this. Just ignore all of this for me, okay? Because It's not happening. This is not happening. What you're seeing is not what you're seeing. So this is really a blue sky that I'm filming. Yeah? Because it's not happening. Public perception of such techniques is also going to be a challenge, primarily due to the widely known conspiracy theory of chemtrails. And here we can see chemtrails filling up the whole sky. There's not any of that you can see is real cloud. How is that a conspiracy? And how is it a conspiracy when you see it like this? This is geoengineering. Period. Incorrect suggestions that condensation trails, water vapour created from aircraft jet engines is evidence of SRM and weather modification is happening at a large scale today. So, listen, even if this is planes, yeah, who's happy with a sky like this and it blocking out the sun? So if that's not SRM, what is it then? What is it that is occurring here that's blocking out my sun if it is not SRM and weather modification? What is it? Explain that to me. No international legislation. Currently, there is no international regulation of geoengineering, so private companies or governments are essentially able to do what they like. But hang on, you told us that it's not happening and nobody can do this. So what do you mean they can do what they like? Who's accountable for the spraying over the UK? Because of the potential for modifications in one area having an impact across the globe, experts are calling for an international framework to regulate geoengineering techniques such as SRM. It's too late. It's too late. Look at what they're doing to our sky. Who's going to be regulating this? Who's going to be asking about this? Who is actually spraying if they're not taking in accountability? If it's not supposed to be happening, then who is doing this? Because of the potential for modifications in one area having an impact across the globe, experts are calling for an international framework to regulate geoengineering techniques such as SRM. Who are they regulating? For example, a US startup company, Make Sunsets, is commercialising SRM, offering cooling credits for a fee. A hydrogen and sulfur dioxide fill balloon is launched and raises 12 miles before popping and releasing the gas into the stratosphere. They claim 1 G of this gas offsets 16 tonnes of carbon dioxide. That's what this is all about. It's got nothing to do with the heat of the sun, climate change, global warming, none of that. I'm not going to read any more, but Florida are trying to pass a bill to stop geoengineering in their area. It's not going to work unless it's banned worldwide and we understand, first of all, who is actually doing it. Who's been doing it up till now? They're talking about the Satan people, AREA, but who's been doing it? Who's doing it in the videos that I can show you? Who's actually spraying in these videos? If it's not been done, who's doing it in here? That's what I want to know. Who's accountable for what we see today? What experiments are taking place? If you've come all the way to this, through to this video, check out my video as well called Millions Were in Germ Warfare Tests. That's a story that was printed by The Guardian. And now The Guardian are talking about geoengineering and acting like it's new. It's appalling. And now they're pouring 60, 70 million into this from the UK. Where's that money coming from? Who wants to pay for respiratory illnesses and other issues that come from this? Absolutely ridiculous, and I'm sick of the lies. And also, there's supposed to be, I'm not going to go too deep into how I feel about this, but I'm going to say it, yeah? There's a protest in June. But this is all being done now. Why is there a protest arranged for after they're going to be doing it and approving it? So they're going to approve it, and then there's this protest. You know what? Too little, too late. How many of those people are going to be at that protest that were calling us crazy? Now it's in the news, or now they see it. Yeah, but some of us went through a lot of crap to bring this and show this, right? But I won't rant, but something about the protests I'm not feeling now, because why would it be done after it's going to be approved? It's too little, too late. And I wish I'd thought to do some, you know, homegrown protests like in your own area. That kind of stuff needs to happen. But they're going to approve it now. People are going to be embarrassed. They're not going to want to say anything because for a long time they thought we were nuts, and now here it is in their face. What are they going to say? Now they're just going to go about their merry way, being sprayed. They can't say anything. They're going to not do anything. Like, you know, that's how it's going to be for some people. It's the embarrassment. But if you're willing to look at this with open eyes, go out into your own area and check out how things happen, what happens, yeah, you'll be able to see that they are doing it today. There are real world experiments happening. And I travel, so wherever I've been, I see it there too. The Canary Islands I went to very, very often. It didn't happen there. But even there, they had some military exercises, and then now they do get sprayed there. And funnily enough, there was rain incidents both in, I think it was Tenerife and Lanzarote. And just in one area, very focused, there was a flood, and there was nothing happened in Playa Blanca. Costa de Guise was all flooded, but nothing in, and they're quite close areas. So that just shows you how they can pinpoint this actual technology that they have. Right, this video has been so long, and I really do appreciate if you've made it all the way through to the end of this video, guys. And it does take a while to make them and read them, and I'm doing it a bit differently today because usually I film it off my phone, but I wanted to be a bit more hands-free. So enjoy this blue sky, brought to you by the Lying BBC. Peace out, guys.